Yo, 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 what is up, everybody? I'm Immortal MMA, and today I'm gonna give you my reaction to Belal Muhammad versus Gabriel Bonfim. Man, okay, well, I didn't make a video. I didn't make a video going over my predictions, but I did upload a picture of my predictions on my YouTube posts and on my Instagram. You know, so you know that I'm not just making up the predictions, but man, my guy Bilal, we'll get to this in a bit, but my guy Bilal, man, King of Chicago fell. The King of Chicago fell. The Bully B Empire. The Bully B Empire has fallen. The King of Chicago has been dethroned. We'll get to that later, but you know, let's start the prelims. Let's start the prelims. So, I missed this first fight, and I did pick Ketlin Souza to win by KO in my predictions. That I didn't upload a video, but you know, I predicted it. I predicted it, and that's why I picked her. And she gets it done in the first. I didn't think she was gonna get this fast. I thought it was gonna be like a maybe like second round KO or like a late first round KO. She got it in like 1 minute 34 seconds, and I actually missed this. By the time I got home, it was already on the second fight, so I had to actually like rewind to see this KO. Nasty KO. She hit her with like I forgot what she dropped her with initially. It was I don't know. She dropped her with a punch though, and as Carnelosi was like getting up from getting dropped, Ketlin Souza just like blasted a kick right to her dome and just knocks her out. So that very impressive win, to be honest. Like that was so like. It was perfect. It was perfect. Like really fast finish, which is pretty rare in women's MMA. So, you know, Ketlin Souza, she got that power. She got that power, and I figured that she was going to win this by KO. And in this video also, I'm not going to be doing too much editing. You know, usually on my reactions, I'll do a lot of like editing, but there's going to be like a few like minimal cuts and stuff, but probably less editing because I'm going to be in the background. I have like a lot of stuff to do for future videos, so I'm trying to save time by doing that. So if there's not too much editing in the video, I'm sorry in advance. But yeah, good fight, fast fight. Again, I missed it, so I had to rewind and rewatch it. Next fight, Julissa Chavez versus Eunice Dubin. I don't know if I pronounced those names right, but hey, I indeed did not pronounce those names right, and I don't even know where I got Julissa from because her name is Jaisla. I don't know where I got Julissa from, but yeah. Again, apologize in advance. But yeah, Chavez gets it done. I missed the first round and a half of this fight, so I don't really know how good each of them did in the first round, and like I see it's like a split decision. I don't really know exactly how everything went down, but I did pick Dubin to get this one done. And for the women's MMA fights, I did guess for all of them basically. Like for this one, I was more confident in. But this one and the other women's MMA fight, I didn't really do too much like studying on like exactly what their records were and like how good they have been doing. It was just like off the top of my head, and with like both of them, I do not remember either of them fighting. I'm not as in tune with the WMMA. Like there are people that I know of, but most of them are like ranked fighters. It's not like I don't know too many fighters that aren't like ranked in WMMA. So, Chavez gets this done by a close decision. There are a few grappling exchanges, and the striking was like, very back and forth. But from what I saw, Chavez did do the better job. I don't know if it should have been split or not, again, since I missed like however much time. But, I would probably have to rewatch that to see, but I'm not going to do that because that's a waste of my time. That's a waste of my time. I'm sorry. Like, no offense, but like, if you're not ranked, I'm not watching you. If you're in WMMA, if you're not ranked, I don't care. If I make it too late, then that's it. That's final. But moving on, Jordan Levitt, Joe Anderson Brito gets it done. I knew Burrito was gonna get this done. I like calling him Burrito. I knew he was gonna get it done. Joe Anderson Brito, he is a good grappler. He is a very dangerous striker. A lot of power in his shots. Jordan Levitt, he was very uncomfortable in the fight. You could tell he was just trying to clinch up the entire time and not really let Joe Anderson Brito have any space at all. He didn't want to strike with him at all. And even in the grappling exchanges, like, Although Jordan Levitt obviously, is mainly a grappler and he was trying to go for the grappling approach as he usually does in his fights, like, you could tell he was kind of just trying to stay safe with the clinch and just kind of like burn out the time, burn out the clock, and hopefully maybe get Joe Anderson Brito tired. But Joe Anderson was doing really well to defend all of the grappling from Jordan Levitt, and eventually he locked up a ninja choke on Jordan Levitt when he was going for a takedown, which was very, very nice. Gets the submission over Jordan Levitt. And, again, Joe Anderson Brito, he is very good. He is very good. Like, I would say he's, like, right outside, like, the top 15 area. He's kind of like that, like, dangerous, like, not ranked, but, he's very, like, close. He's, like, a type of, I don't know, like, he's basically, right now, I would see him around, like, a Dan Ige level, like a Pitbull level, that type of level, where it's, like, you're close, you're, like, very good, but you're not exactly, like, the best. But, yeah, Joe Anderson Brito, great submission. First round too. Like, a lot of first round finishes in this event. Like, there is a lot of first round finishes. Can't wait to see what he does next. So far, his losses haven't been too bad, and his wins have been great. So maybe get him closer to the top 15. Moving on. Chelsea Chandler versus Priscilla Cachoeira. I just predicted that Cachoeira was going to catch Chelsea Chandler. Chelsea Chandler, I don't really remember much about her other than, like, she's lost a few times. And Priscilla, I know, like, she also has lost, but I know she has, like, a lot of KOs on her record, so that's why I was like, okay, maybe she'll probably just, like, fluke a KO. She'll probably just, like, go guns a-blazing. But Chelsea Chandler actually rocks her. I think she hits her in the temple, which, like, knocks her down. And that lets her jump on top of Cachoeira and get into a grappling exchange where she is able to get the armbar over Cachoeira. Another first-round finish, and, like, Cachoeira was coming forward. She was trying to hit her with some big bombs, but Chelsea Chandler was doing pretty well to, like, get out of the way. The few shots that did land were pretty heavy, but Chelsea was able to kind of just, like, eat them and, like, stay composed and calm. And, obviously she got the knockdown, the submission very easily. Obviously, if it was going to go to the ground, Cachoeira was going to, lose. But, again, I just kind of, like, guessed Cachoeira would win just because, like, she has a lot of KOs. And I was like, oh, I don't really know much about Chelsea Chandler. But, yeah, I was wrong. I was completely wrong. But, moving on, Bruno's Edgar Chairez. I knew he was going to pull it off. I saw him as the underdog. As a plus 100, I believe it was. As soon as I saw that, I was like, they are not giving my boy Edgar Chairez enough credit. I know he's had close fights. I know he's had some close fights in the past, but here's the thing about Bruno Silva. He is like, look, like, here's the thing. He did really good in his last performance against Charles Johnson, right? And then maybe that's why it swayed people to be like, okay, well, Bruno Silva, he had this good fight against Charles Johnson where although he lost, he was making it close. And Charles Johnson, he chinned Van and he chinned Kavanaugh. But here's what you gotta understand. Charles Johnson, in every single one of his fights, every single one of those, like, those two KOs, the two KOs he's known for, against Vaughn and against Kavanaugh was whooping him, okay? Y'all gotta understand. Kavanaugh was whooping him the entire time, and then just got complacent and just started keeping his hands low as he was, like, circling, and then he got caught. Vaughn was also doing very good against Charles Johnson, and Charles Johnson just snuck that uppercut in because of how long he was as Vaughn was backing up, So, y'all gotta understand, like, Charles Johnson gets pieced up in every one of his fights, and Bruno Silva, although, yeah, he did, like, a good job against Charles Johnson in his last fight, it was still clear Charles Johnson. Charles Johnson was definitely outstriking him, landing the better shots, and I was thinking, man, even though that was a good performance, I think that's an overrated performance. I think that he's not as good as he seems. Like, if you like just think about it. Who has he beat? Who does he have his finishes over? And I know, like, the same thing can be said for Chairez, but I just had a feeling like Chairez was the longer dude. He has good boxing, he has good grappling, like, he is very well rounded. And Bruno Silva, like, although, yes, he has power, and yes, he has, like, decent grappling and all that, like, I just felt like Edgar Chairez was going to be able to use his length to his advantage, and that's exactly what he did. He was hitting Bruno Silva with some nice jabs. At first, Bruno Silva was doing pretty well in the fight. He was hitting Edgar Chairez with his jabs and doing good on his counters, but over time, Chairez started, like, doing better, countering Bruno Silva more. and then eventually that led to him knocking Bruno Silva down. It was nasty. He jumped on him and got the rear naked choke. Very good performance by Edgar Chairez. Gets it done in the first round too. Another first round finish. But yeah, Edgar Chairez, he looked really good. He looked improved in this fight compared to his last ones. I had a feeling. Whoo, that tonight's gonna be a good night. Okay, I gotta stop doing that. But nah, but Edgar Chairez, he was doing good. Like I had a feeling he was gonna like destroy Bruno Silva, and that's what he does. Nice underdog pick from me. I'm the king of the underdog picks. Sometimes I get some good underdog picks. Sometimes not so much, you know. But yeah, Edgar Chairez, I had that as a lock for my picks. Good job for Edgar Chairez. He should get a ranked opponent next, I believe. And moving on, Marcus McGee. Unk himself, Marcus McGee versus John Giannis. This was a really good fight. This was very like, it was just back and forth. Marcus McGee, I just love watching his fights. He is very skilled. I love his striking. Like, and it's like the commentary said, I'm surprised he didn't grapple more, but then again, it's like, you know, why grapple when you're kind of, you know, you're winning every round on the feet already. So like there's, you know, grappling can deplete your energy more than if you just like stay striking. So I could see like why he would just like stay striking. And yeah, his just technique, he has good boxing, he had good kicks, and he was just like switching stances. John Giannis, he was hitting Marcus McGee, but nothing really too powerful. I know there was a few shots that he hit Marcus McGee that was like pretty good, that like, you know, kind of caught Marcus McGee. I'm pretty sure he was starting to like get swelling on his eye, Marcus McGee was. But yeah, John Giannis was just getting hit with the better shots, and Marcus McGee was just controlling the range, getting out of a lot of the attacks of John Giannis. And, you know, Marcus McGee threw a lot. Like, look at these stats. 202 strikes thrown compared to 115. Like, Marcus McGee, he was staying really busy. He has a good gas tank. He has a good cardio. And, yeah, his striking was just really nice to see. It was really nice. I don't think he was ever really close to finishing the fight against John Giannis, but it was still a very entertaining fight. It was just, you know, back and forth striking exchanges. And Marcus McGee, he went from fighting Petr Yan down to fighting John Giannis. So I assumed that he was going to get the win. So I obviously picked him because so far he's only lost to Yan. Before that, he beat Jonathan Martinez, who I rate like decently highly. And yeah, Marcus McGee, I say you just get him top 15 opponent again, get him back in the rankings. Good bounce back from his loss to Petr Yan. And obviously, you know, that's not a bad loss. Like losing to Petr Yan, like that was a pretty big jump up from his fight with Jonathan Martinez to go all the way up to Petr Yan. Now that they're building him back up, I think, you know, give him someone in the bottom of the like top 15. And John Giannis, you know, he stood his ground and he was taking some shots, but he couldn't really do anything to like win the rounds like and stand out in each round. So, you know, good fight overall. And moving on, Matt Schnell. Chinny man Matt Schnell. Who would have thought that Matt Schnell would have got knocked out? Now, this was a bit of an early stoppage. But then again, it's like, okay, he wobbled really bad, and obviously Matt Schnell is known for getting knocked clean out. So he got wobbled really bad, fell face first, and Alessandro Costa just pushed down on him and started hammer fisting him on the side of the head. And like, Matt Schnell wasn't out, but at the same time, it's like he absorbed like 13 straight strikes from Alessandro Costa, and he didn't really have anything. Like, he was kind of just like holding on to Costa's legs. So I can see why, like, even though it was an early stoppage because Matt Schnell wasn't out and he was like still trying to kind of like grapple with him, and he still like wrapped around his legs and stuff, like, at the same time, I could see why Herb would have stopped it. And if Herb Dame wouldn't have stopped it, I think it probably would have just continued going that way, where Alessandro Costa just punched him in the head over and over and over again until it was done. Because Matt Schnell, like, from the position he had, I don't think there was any way he was going to grapple up to, like, you know, be able to get back to his feet, or, like, you know, he was going to, like, do some type of transition to where he was going to be able to just hang in there at the bottom position. I think he would have just kept getting hit. So, you know, good win for Alessandro Costa. You know, another finish. And again, who didn't predict Machinel was gonna lose by KO against Alessandro Costa? Another pick right for me. Another first round finish. Also, like, all these first round finishes, like first round finish, 3 rounds, first round, 3 rounds, first round, like insane amount of finishes. Like this and the last card, man. It makes me excited for the White House card. There's gonna be some nasty finishes on the White House card. I can just feel it. But yeah, that was the end of the prelims, and we go on to the main event. My boy Iwo Baranuski. Look at that. 6 strikes is all it takes. 6 strikes is all it takes. Bedtime, why did you pick Junior Tafa? Why did Bedtime pick Junior Tafa? When I saw Bedtime's picks video and saw that he picked Junior Tafa, I had no idea. Like, why would you pick Junior Tafa? Why would anybody pick Junior Tafa? I'm like, I know Junior Tafa, he's a good striker. He's a good striker, right? But at the same time, it's like, in his last fight, his legs were getting chopped at, and he was literally, like, limping. And I was just sitting here thinking, like, okay, even if it stays on the feet and Iwo Baranuski is, like, striking with him, if he throws a few, like, decent calf kicks like Junior Tafa has done, and what do you know? He throws 2 calf kicks. 2 calf kicks is all it took. And Junior Tafa fell down and couldn't do anything else. That is insane to me. That is insane to me. Iwo Baranuski, like, man, he's on a great run right now. Like, 3 KOs in a row, 3 first round KOs. I believe this is the longest fight that he's had, or like, this is either the longest or like the second longest fight that he's had in the UFC, and it's only a minute 25. Isn't that crazy? He's literally, bro, Iwo Baranuski right now in light heavyweight is literally like Tom Aspinall. He's finishing all these guys instantly. 1 minute. 1 minute. And I know he's not going up against like the top of the top competition, but it's like, Junior Tafa is a decent striker. Like, he is a good striker. He does have power. He beat Ibo Aslan, who is another person who does have a lot of knockout power. And of course, he beat Austin Lane, which, like, it's Austin Lane. But yeah, Iwo Baranuski, like, he is looking very good with his striking. He was looking very good. He looked very patient in this fight. He wasn't, like, brawling or anything. he was staying out of range and then picking his shots. And yeah, he tried to grapple also, which it didn't look too good. But his striking though looked really good. And I say give this guy either someone right outside the top 15 or straight up just give him like the number 15, number 14 opponent. Like, Iwo Baranuski is looking really good. And I know that is kind of like a fast jump up. I think maybe give him like Zhang Ming Yang maybe. Maybe Zhang Ming Yang, maybe like someone like Alonzo Minifield would also be good. Like somewhere like way lower in the rankings. He's looking to be one of my favorite prospects currently. He's looking to be one of the guys that I keep an eye on because he's had some great performances, some really fun fights in his run so far. But moving on, Bryce Mitchell. Santiago Luna, brother. The camo shorts got me the win, brother. Bryce Mitchell gets it done by smudge grappling. Bryce Mitchell, great grappling, very good pressure, great pressure. Yeah, Bryce Mitchell, very awkward on the feet, but he's always been awkward on the feet. He gets it to the ground every single round, and which I don't even know why. Santiago Luna, for some reason, tried to take Bryce Mitchell down in the first round. I don't know why he did that. That was a horrible mistake from him. Because Bryce Mitchell, literally, the one thing he is known about, the one thing he is known for, is his grappling. Why would you try to take Bryce Mitchell down? Why? Why would you do that? So he tries to take him down, gets reversed. Bryce Mitchell rides out the round. Second round, Luna had some better striking exchanges. He was hitting Bryce Mitchell with some decent shots, but Bryce Mitchell came back, kind of just pressured him against the fence and took him down, and again controlled the rest of the round. A lot of pressure, which was definitely very tiring for Luna to deal with. Bryce Mitchell was just all over him. And in the final round, he got him down again, and it was over. As soon as it reached the mat, I was like, yeah, Bryce Mitchell, easy win for Bryce Mitchell. After a lot of setup for the arm triangle, he was able to eventually get it against Santiago Luna with only 8 seconds left. He got a back take and he was gonna try to look for a rear naked, it looked like, but then he transitioned over to an arm triangle. So very, very nice, very good. The grappling exchanges, I do love BJJ, as I've said in like some of my past videos. There are some points where I was like, man, I wish Bryce Mitchell would be doing a little bit more right now. I wish he would have been doing more stuff, but he was still doing well in his grappling. He was still like trying to move the positions. It did get a little boring at some points of the fight, though. I cannot lie about that. But Bryce Mitchell gets it done against Santiago Luna. I say give him a ranked opponent now. He was ranked in featherweight, and now moving down with 2 wins in a row, and especially since this one he got a finish on, I think just give him a top 15 opponent now. And moving on. Fares ZM. I picked Fares ZM. Oh yeah, also I obviously I picked Ivo Barnowski to win, and I picked Bryce Mitchell to win. But Fares ZM, what were you doing? What were you doing? Fares ZM, he sold so hard in this fight. What was this guy doing? The lowest IQ I've ever seen. This wasn't even like Tom Nolan's just like completely better than Fares ZM, and like Tom Nolan is just that guy. No, Fares ZM is literally just dumb. No offense, but he's just like horrible moves. Why would he first it was the spinning back elbow that knocked him off balance, which then gave Tom Nolan that round. And then Fares ZM in like the grappling exchanges, instead of putting his hooks in, he didn't put his hooks in when he was trying to get Tom Nolan's back, and he just slides right across the top, and Tom Nolan takes over. He just a lot of low IQ moves, or at the end, I believe, of the first round. At the end of the first round, he gets out of the grappling exchanges, and by this time, he already knows that he's having the better exchanges on the feet. He has been hitting Tom Nolan with some decent shots on the feet, and also he's losing the round. He's losing the first round. But instead of breaking the grappling when he gets out and trying to strike with Tom Nolan for the last minute so that he can cause some damage, so that he can maybe have some damage trickle down into the later rounds, so that he could slowly break Tom Nolan since he's already losing the round, he decides to try to grapple with Tom Nolan again. Why? You're losing the round. Don't try to grapple with Tom Nolan, wasting your energy. And, you're not going to, even if you out-grapple Nolan for this 1 minute left in the round, you're not going to win the round. Why are you not trying to strike with Tom Nolan when you know that you're hitting him with some decent shots? Why would you do that? And it was just, low IQ moves like that. He just did not have a good game plan at all. He did not have a good strategy at all. He just made horrible moves throughout the fight and just gave Tom Nolan these advantageous positions by just making these horrible mistakes. Really, Fares ZM could have got this done. Fares ZM could have won this if he didn't, just have Michael Chandler level of IQ right there. Literally Michael Chandler if he was French. What happened that fight? What happened? But Tom Nolan gets this done. Pretty decent performance by Tom Nolan. It wasn't like a crazy performance, okay? It wasn't Tom Nolan, that's a guy to look out for. He kind of smudge grappled him against the fence. He had a bedtime-esque performance. Yeah, Tom Nolan, he smudged him against the fence for a lot of the fight. He got on top of him, didn't do too much damage really. He did a little bit of damage. He made Fares ZM bleed from his mouth a little bit, but I think that's about the extent that Tom Nolan did. He had some decent shots on the feet, but he was getting hit with the better shots from Fares ZM. So, it was good for him to grapple with Fares ZM and, kind of put that pressure on him so that he wouldn't get pieced up on the feet. And, a decent performance again. I don't know how he fares against the rest of the top of the division. But it is interesting to see what he'll do, because he only has 1 loss in his record so far, so it is interesting to see what he does from now on. Fares ZM, I don't even know what to do with you. I don't know what happened in this fight. You were on this huge win streak, and then you have a performance like this. That was horrible. Moving on. Brendan Allen versus Edmund Shabazian. Okay, I saw some people on Instagram, it's always Instagram. I gotta stop looking at the comments of posts, because there are people saying that Edmund Shabazian won. What do you mean? What? So I had it 29-28. But my take is it was closer to being a 30-27 for Brendan Allen than it was to Edmund Shabazian winning a 29-28. What are people talking about? The first round was Edmund's best round. The first round I gave to Edmund. I think he had a bit of the better shots in the first round. And then after that, the second and third round for Brendan Allen was easy for me to score. I thought Brendan Allen easily won the second round. I mean, the third round was like the clearest. Brendan Allen completely destroyed Edmund in the third round. But the second round is like really, I guess, what would be contested, like if it went to Edmund or if it went to Allen. I had that clearly for Allen though. Like I felt like Allen had the better shots throughout the second round. And there were people in the comments literally talking about like Edmund stopped his takedown attempts in the second round. That doesn't score you. That doesn't score you points. That does not score you points. Stopping a takedown does not do anything. What are you talking about? These people don't know how to score fights. They do not know how to score fights. What are we talking about? He was stopping the takedowns. Oh yeah. That gave him some really good points on the scoring criteria. That definitely scored him some points for stopping Brendan Allen's takedown. Sure. Oh my goodness, this is gonna get me heated. What are people talking about? It's every single fight that's close, Oh my goodness, this was a robbery. This guy, this guy stopped his takedowns. Like, bro, what are you talking about? Every single fight now that's close, like literally just like robbery. Like, stop it. Brendan Allen had the better strikes in the second round, better strikes in the third round. Even the first round was so close that I could have given it to Brendan Allen. Now, I gave it to Edmund Shabazian because even though I wanted Brendan Allen to win, I was fair. I was like, okay, Edmund Shabazian probably got that first round. Two of the judges gave it 30-27. I personally think it was 29-28, but to say that it was 29-28 for Edmund Shabazian, no, he clearly lost the second and third round. I don't know what people are talking about. But yeah, Brendan Allen gets another win. Honestly, this was not the best. It was a decent performance. It was a good performance. Like he was landing some good shots on Edmund Shabazian, but like to be number 4 ranked and fighting someone that's not even ranked at all, and having this close of a performance. It is not a good look for going up, and, I know he called out Sean Strickland. He's not getting Sean Strickland. They'll probably give Brendan Allen, and I know he wanted he said a rematch against Imavov. I don't think they're going to do that either. Like, Imavov, I think, is just next for the belt against Sean Strickland. I don't know what they do with Brendan Allen right now. I don't know who they have him face. He might have to take another step-down opponent, but Brendan Allen is so weird. He has such a weird performances. Because it's like, he pieces up, like, Marvin Vettori. His striking looks, like, really good in the Marvin Vettori fight. It looks like he has some power. It looks like his gas tank is, like pretty good in that fight. And then he goes in here against Edmund Shabazian, and it's like, it looks like he's gassed after the first round. Like, not, like, completely gassed, but it's like he's moving in slow motion. And it just makes me think, like, man, with how his striking looks right now, it's like, if he were to fight a guy like Sean Strickland or like a guy like Imavov, I think he would I would feel like he would get chinned. I don't know why he looked slow in this fight. He was kind of just plodding towards Edmund Shabazian, and he was grabbing the clinch a lot, trying to get some elbows. To me, it just seemed like he was very tired after the first round, going into the second round. I don't know if that was just me. I don't know if I was just imagining stuff. I might have just been imagining stuff. Maybe it's just because it's middleweight. I think he's good. I think he's really good, but at the same time he's not. You know what I'm saying? It's like a mixture. I don't know how to explain it, but he's good, but he's not. But good win from Brendan Allen. He beat Edmund Shabazian, who was on a win streak. Moving on to the main event. Bully B. Rest in peace, Bully B. The Bully B empire has fallen. The King of Chicago has been dethroned. The king has lost his crown. Man, I did not expect this performance from Gabriel Bonfim. I expected Belal Muhammad to get the win. I thought he was just gonna have that pressure and that grappling. I thought he was just gonna out wrestle Gabriel Bonfim. He didn't really do too much wrestling. He only shot how many takedowns? Yeah, two takedowns. I think it was the first takedown he shot was in maybe the third round, and after that he just didn't. It was mostly striking, and he just didn't have the pop. In the first few rounds, he was hitting Gabriel Bonfim with some pretty good straights, some pretty good 1-2s. but he just doesn't have the power to rock a Gabriel Bonfim. And he was shooting up those like head kicks, but again, not too much pop on them. And every time he would do it, Gabriel Bonfim would hit him with a straight right as he was like throwing the kick, which would he would get hit off balance. And yeah, Gabriel Bonfim, he was just controlling the distance, moving out of the way of a lot of Belal Muhammad's shots, and he was hitting Belal Muhammad with some big shots. Like Belal Muhammad's chin is like really good. And this is, I've said this I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this in previous videos. Like Belal Muhammad has a really good chin, and it was proven right here because Gabriel Bonfim hit him with some really nice shots, and Belal Muhammad never even looked like he was rocked in this fight. But yeah, Gabriel Bonfim, he was chewing up the calf. He was, which it was really looking gnarly, but it didn't really slow Belal Muhammad down too much. I know he switched stances maybe like once or twice, but his movement wasn't affected like too badly. But again, this like power difference, there was no real danger coming from Belal Muhammad. He hit Gabriel with some like decent shots, but nothing to like really put him on notice. Yeah, he simply just got outstruck all 5 rounds. It was 50-45 for Gabriel Bonfim. A really impressive performance, honestly. Like this is a very, very good performance. Do I think Gabriel Bonfim wins against anyone else in the like very top? Not really. I think, if he were to fight Carlos Prates, he would get slimed out. I think if he would fight Ian Gary, that Ian Gary would just be better with the distance management. He would be better with getting out of the way of shots. I think if he fought Michael Morales would slime Gabriel Bonfim out. I think all of the top guys that are like giants alongside Gabriel Bonfim would beat him. But I think for anyone that's like lower, I think Gabriel Bonfim, this fight really showed that he's really good. He called out JDM. That's a good fight. I think that would be a really good fight. That would be a really interesting fight. Because the thing about like JDM also has a very good chin. We saw that in the fight against Carlos Prates. Every single other opponent that Carlos Prates has like KO'd, it's been out cold. JDM, he had a calf kick TKO him. But that also makes me worry for that fight because Gabriel Bonfim was lighting Belal's calf up. And if he did that many calf kicks, I think it was like 40 calf kicks or something. If he did that many to Belal and he was like damaging his leg that much, like if he fought JDM, I would assume that he would try to go with the same type of game plan. And, JDM is just not really good with the calf kicks. He can't really check them. He hasn't been checking them well, so that would be a scary fight. Obviously, JDM has much more power than Belal Muhammad and better striking, so that would be more interesting. And obviously, Gabriel Bonfim had a very close fight with Wonderboy, where I thought Wonderboy won that. I thought it was like clear 29-28 Wonderboy. And I'm not gonna say that like JDM is like as good as Wonderboy when it comes to like getting out of the way of shots and like that. Wonderboy is very technical with his karate stance, and like he's a very tricky customer. He's a very tricky customer. But I think that would be a really interesting fight. Gabriel Bonfim versus JDM. Great performance, and I can't wait to see what he does next. Belal Muhammad, King of Chicago. Hats off to you. Great chin. He stuck in there. He gave it all his heart. He was still trying to attack him all the way till the end. He never gave up on himself. But man, Gabriel Bonfim, he's looking really good. But that is my recap. That is my reaction to all of these fights. Pretty good fight night. Again, I didn't make a video with my predictions, but I did post like who I predicted. And man, I cannot wait for this week when the UFC White House event happens. Do I really care that it's at the White House? Not really. I think it's stupid. I straight up, I just think that's dumb. Obviously, it's good for the UFC, more publicity, more of this, more of that. But government wise, I'm like this is so stupid. This is so stupid, beyond stupid. But anyways, it'll be a great event though. It'll be a great event. I cannot wait to see Alex Pereira versus Cyril Gane, Ilia Topuria killing Justin Gaethje. Well, I can't wait to go over my predictions for those fights. If you enjoyed this video, spinning back fist that like button, leg kick that subscribe button, and let me think. Do a backflip knee to the dome, like a Michelle Pereira type beat on that comment section, and tell me what you think about my reaction. What do you think about my predictions? My predictions, if you were not paying attention throughout this entire time, were Belal Muhammad. I picked Brendan Allen, Fres Ziem, Bryce Mitchell, Iro Bernowski. I picked Alexander Costa, Marcus McGee, Edgar Chairez, Priscilla Cachoeira. I picked Joe Anderson Brito. I picked Dubin, and then I picked Kellen Souza. Those are all of my picks. Let me know what you think about all of my picks. Let me know what you think about, the card in general. Anything. And I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.